The duel begins. The twin suns of Varon 5 burned high in the sky. A giant battle arena stood in the center of the alien city, its walls covered with banners from 100 different worlds. The air was thick with smoke and the loud voices of thousands of aliens. Everyone had gathered for the fight. But this wasn't an ordinary fight. This was a public execution. At the center of the arena stood Marcus Vane, a lone human. He looked calm, his eyes cold and steady. He wore no armor, no weapon hung by his side. Around him, strange alien creatures laughed and cheered. Some threw stones, others shouted insults in languages he didn't understand. Across from him stood Carathel, one of the deadliest warriors in the galaxy. She was tall, covered in dark blue armor, and carried a massive plasma blade that hummed with deadly energy. Carathel had fought in wars across the stars, and no one had ever survived her blade. The announcer, a green-skinned creature with sharp teeth, raised his voice. Today, we witness the final hour of the human race. Carathel will show why. No one dares challenge the council. The crowd cheered, waving their claws and tentacles, but Marcus didn't flinch. He simply stared at Carathel, his face like stone. Carathel grinned behind her mask. "I will make this quick," she said, raising her weapon. Marcus stayed silent. His eyes didn't leave hers. Without warning, Carathel charged. The ground trembled beneath her heavy steps. Her plasma blade lit up the air as she swung it down, aiming to split Marcus in half. The audience screamed in excitement. But then it happened. Marcus lifted his hand and caught the glowing blade in his bare hand. The weapon stopped inches from his head. The humming blade hissed against his skin, but Marcus didn't even blink. For a moment, the entire arena went silent. Carathel's eyes widened. No one had ever stopped her strike. Not like this. The crowd froze. The laughter died. Only the sound of the humming blade and the twin suns burning above could be heard. Marcus's voice was quiet but sharp. "Now you'll see why that was a mistake." He pushed the blade aside as if it was nothing. Carathel stumbled back, disbelief on her face. The plasma blade flickered and her hands trembled. The announcer struggled to find his words. That's impossible." Aliens in the front rows stepped back from the railing. Some dropped their drinks. Whispers spread like wildfire. "Did you see that? A human caught the blade. That's not natural." But Marcus didn't care about them. His focus was only on Kara THEL. She growled and rushed forward again, swinging wildly. The heavy blade cut through the air with deadly speed. But Marcus moved like a shadow, dodging every strike. His movements were smooth, almost lazy, but perfect. Not a single swing touched him. Carathel shouted in anger, "Fight me, coward!" Marcus gave a small, cold smile. "You're not ready for that." The alien warrior spun and struck again, using all her strength. The blade came down toward Marcus's shoulder, but once again he caught it. This time he twisted his wrist, and with a sharp crack, the plasma blade snapped in half. Carathel staggered back, holding the broken hilt. The crowd gasped. A few aliens started to leave their seats. Fear replaced excitement. No one had ever seen something like this before. In the shadows above the arena, a tall figure watched from a balcony. General Karen, a leader of the Galactic Council. His eyes narrowed. "That's him," Karen whispered to his officer. "I knew he was still alive." Back in the arena, Marcus stepped closer to Carathel. "This fight's over," he said, voice steady. But before she could answer, something strange happened. Marcus's ears picked up a faint whirring sound. His eyes flicked upward, spotting a small drone hidden above the arena lights. A sniper drone. It was aiming straight for him. Marcus's expression changed. He knew what this meant. This wasn't a fair fight. The council wanted him dead, no matter what. He calmly raised his hand again. Ready. You made another mistake, Marcus whispered Dot, and the scene cut to Black Dot's secrets of Marcus Vane. The arena was still filled with silence. No one cheered now. The alien crowd stared in shock, their faces pale and wide-eyed. No one had ever seen a human do something like this. Carethel, the champion of the arena, stood frozen with a broken weapon in her hand, but Marcus Vane wasn't looking at her anymore. His sharp eyes were fixed on the tiny drone high above, its targeting light glowing softly. He knew what it meant. The Galactic Council wasn't going to let him leave this place alive. Even if he won the fight, they would kill him in secret. That was their way. He took a slow breath and raised his hand. The drone fired. A thin, burning beam of blue light shot down from the ceiling. But Marcus moved, faster than any of them could see. He stepped aside, the beam missing him by an inch. In one clean motion, Marcus picked up a sharp piece of Carathel's broken blade and threw it. The shard flew through the air. Like a flash of silver dot, it struck the drone dead center. A small explosion followed, sparks falling from above like dying stars. The arena was dead quiet again. Carathel's hands were shaking. She had fought monsters, war beasts, and deathworlders before, but nothing like this human. "What are you?" she asked, her voice cracking. Marcus didn't answer right away. His face was calm, but his eyes held something ancient, something dangerous. "I was never supposed to be here," he said quietly. "But your people forced." Above them, in the council's balcony, General Karen clenched his fists. The old alien warlord knew the stories. Stories of a secret human project from years ago. A military program that created enhanced soldiers, men and women built for war, faster, stronger, smarter. Project Titan Dot, and Marcus Vane had been there. Finest creation. The council had believed those soldiers were all destroyed, wiped out to keep the galaxy safe. But one survived Dot, and now he was standing in their arena. Karron growled to his officer. "Double the guards. No one leaves this city until he's dead." Back in the arena, Marcus stepped toward Carethel, who lowered her weapon. "I don't want to fight you," he said. "This was never my war." Carethel looked around at the terrified faces in the crowd. The same aliens who cheered for blood now sat silently in their seats, too scared to move. She felt something inside her shift. For the first time, she wasn't sure who the enemy was. "Why did they send you here?" she asked. Marcus gave a small, bitter smile. "Because they're afraid of what humans can become, of what I already am." He looked up at the sky, at the twin suns above. Somewhere out there, Earth still existed. And maybe, just maybe, others like him were still alive, hiding from the council's reach. Carethel took a shaky step forward. They lied to us," she said, her voice barely a whisper. Marcus didn't reply, but the look in his eyes was answer enough. Sudden rumble shook the arena walls. A squad of alien soldiers stormed the arena floor, armed with shock rifles and pulse cannons. Their leader barked a command. "Seize the human. Kill the traitor." Carethel turned to Marcus. She knew what would happen next. "You won't make it out alone," she said. Marcus glanced at the soldiers, then back at her. "I wasn't planning to." The soldiers raised their weapons. The leader shouted, "Fire!" Blinding light filled the arena, but Marcus was already moving, faster than their eyes could follow. And Carethel, the warrior once sworn to kill him, followed him into the fight. To be continued. The second strike blinding light filled the arena as the soldiers fired their weapons. Bright blue energy beams shot through the air, leaving crackling lines in their path. The ground shook and dust rose around them, but Marcus Vane was already gone. He moved like a shadow, faster than any eye could follow. The first soldier didn't even see him coming. In one clean move, Marcus grabbed the rifle from his hands and slammed the alien to the ground. Before the others could react, Marcus spun, tossing the rifle like a spear. It hit another soldier square in the chest, sending him flying across the floor. The rest of the squad hesitated. No one had ever moved like that. Not a human. Not anyone. Surround him. The squad leader shouted, fear clear in his voice. But it was too late. Carathel, still holding the broken hilt of her blade, made her choice. She stepped between Marcus and the soldiers. I won't let you kill him, she growled. The squad leader pointed his weapon at her. Step aside, Carathel. He's dangerous. He's not the only one, she replied coldly. Without warning, she charged at them. The soldiers panicked, unsure whether to shoot her or the human. In that moment of confusion, Marcus struck again, using the broken shard of Carathel's weapon as a throwing knife. It cut through the air and landed in another soldier's chest. One by one, the squad fell. The last two tried to run, but Carathel moved faster than they expected. She tackled them to the ground, ending the fight. Arena was in chaos now. Aliens rushed toward the exits, pushing and shoving to get away. No one wanted to stay and see what happened next. Marcus walked to Carathel's side. You didn't have to help me, he said. She wiped blood from her face and glared at him. I should have finished you myself, but now I want answers. Marcus gave a small nod. You'll get them, but not here. High above, on the balcony, General Karen watched the scene with growing anger. Send the assassin drones, he snarled to his officer. I want them dead, now. The officer hesitated. But General, if the other species see us killing. Carathel, I said now. Karen barked. Within moments, the skies above the arena darkened as dozens of small, deadly assassin drones circled in like vultures. Their eyes glowed red, targeting systems locked on Marcus and Carathel. Carathel saw them first. Drones, a lot of them. Marcus clenched his fists. They won't stop coming. Then we fight, she said. The two stood back to back, as the drones swarmed closer. But before the drones could strike, a strange sound filled the air. A high-pitched pulse, like a signal from deep space. The drones froze in place. A voice came through Marcus's comlink, a voice he hadn't heard in years. Titan Protocol. Omega Reboot. Stand by, Marcus. Reinforcements inbound. Marcus's eyes narrowed. His heart pounded. It meant only one thing. Other humans were out there, and they had just found him. Carathel noticed the change in his face. What was that? He looked at her. Hope. In the distance, the skies shimmered, and a shadow passed over the twin suns. A ship. A human ship. Ship that wasn't supposed to exist. Marcus took a deep breath and readied himself. Now it's their turn to be afraid. He muttered. Betrayal in the shadows. The sky above the arena was no longer clear. Dozens of assassin drones hung in the air like hungry beasts, their red targeting lights locked onto Marcus Vane and Carathel. The alien crowd had vanished, fleeing through the exits like frightened animals. The once roaring arena now felt like a tomb. Marcus stared at the hovering machines. He knew what they were: fast, silent, and deadly. Designed to leave no survivors. He had faced them before. But this time, something was different. A strange pulse had frozen the drones' midder. Their lights flickered. The whirring of their engines softened. Carathel looked up. Why aren't they attacking? Before Marcus could answer, a voice spoke. Through his earpiece again. Marcus Vane, this is command. Your location is compromised. Extraction team en route. Hold your position. His pulse quickened. Command, a name he hadn't heard in years. He thought they were all dead. Carathel caught the look in his eyes. Who was that? Marcus didn't answer. His gaze moved to the northern sky. A ripple in the air appeared, then slowly revealed the dark shape of a stealth ship, its massive hull reflecting the twin suns. Carathel's jaw tightened. That's human tech. But before they could move, the drones rebooted, their systems back online. The targeting lights returned, brighter than before. Marcus clenched his fists. No time. The drones fired. Blasts of deadly blue light rained down. Marcus grabbed Carathel by the arm and dove behind the fallen stone pillars of the arena. Explosions followed, sending dust and shards of rock into the air. Carathel coughed, peeking out from behind cover. There's too many. Marcus's face was calm. Not for long. He tapped a small device on his wrist. A faint pulse spread. Through the air dot in seconds, the assassin drones began dropping one by one, as if an invisible hand was crushing them. Sparks flew, their bodies crashing into the ground like metal rain. Carathel stared. What? How are you doing this? Marcus didn't explain. Old friends, new tricks. But then a deeper rumble shook the ground dot from the far side of the city. Heavy transports roared in. Dozens of alien soldiers marched toward the arena, armored and armed for war. General Karen stood at the front, pointing toward the ruins. Find them. Kill the human. No one leaves alive. The council had betrayed its own champion, and now they wanted both Marcus and Carathel dead. Carathel's face darkened as she watched her own people march to slaughter her. I fought for them, she growled. I killed for them. And now they turn on me? Marcus placed a hand on her shoulder. Now you see the truth. They never cared. A voice crackled through his earpiece again. Extraction in 60 seconds. Mark your location. Marcus tapped his wrist once more, sending a signal skyward. Carathel took a deep breath. I'm coming with you. Marcus looked at her, searching for hesitation, but there was none. Good, he said. You'll fit right in. Together, they moved through the shattered arena, using the broken walls for cover. Soldiers poured in from every direction. Gunfire lit up the ruins. Marcus moved like a ghost, disabling enemies with precise strikes. Carathel fought by his side, a warrior reborn. Then above them, the stealth ship uncloaked fully. Its massive doors opened. With a hiss, and a team of armored human soldiers rappelled down. Their black armor gleamed under the twin suns, helmets marked with the old Titan insignia. Carathel's breath caught. There's more of you? The lead soldier stepped forward, rifle raised. Marcus Vane. It's been a long time. Marcus smirked. Good to see you too, Red. The soldier nodded. Let's get you home. But the extraction wasn't over yet. A massive shockwave hit the ground as a giant council war machine, a walking titan of metal, stomped into view. Carathel's face twisted in horror. They sent the juggernaut. Marcus's smile, only, widened. Finally, he said, something fun. The Galactic Council's fear. The ground shook with every step of the juggernaut. A towering machine of war, 20 meters tall, its armor thick as a starship's hull. Twin cannons glowed on. Its shoulders and its metal fists could crush a dropship in a single blow. The machine's red visor locked onto Marcus Vane and Carathel as they dashed through the ruined arena. Targets identified. The juggernaut's cold voice echoed. Terminate immediately. Carathel's heart pounded. We can't fight that. Marcus's expression stayed calm, even as chunks of stone and dust rained down around them. We don't have to fight it, Marcus said quietly, tapping a small device on his belt. We just have to survive for 30 seconds. The massive war machine raised its cannons. Explosions rocked the ground as bolts of plasma tore through the arena walls. The blast threw Marcus and Carathel against the rubble. Dust clouded the air, hiding them from view. Carathel coughed, blood running from a cut on her forehead. This thing will level the whole city. Marcus forced himself up, his ears ringing. That's the idea. In the sky, the human stealth ship hovered, its doors open. Inside, more soldiers prepared heavy weapons. The team leader spoke into his comm. Marcus, extraction window closing. We've got to move. Marcus gritted his teeth. Not yet. He looked at Carathel. Can you move? She wiped blood from her eyes. Try me. They sprinted from cover as the juggernaut fired again. The blast missed them by inches, destroying a nearby tower. But while the machine focused on them, the sky darkened once more. 5 more human warships decloaked above the city. Sleek, black, and silent, built for one purpose, to strike without warning. General Karen, watching from his command platform, paled. Impossible, he whispered. Earth doesn't have a fleet. The humans were beaten, but deep down, he knew the old stories. Tales of humanity's hidden armada. Ships built in the shadows, away from the Council's watchful eyes. And now, they were here. In a single moment, the lead human warship opened fire. Lances of blue plasma cut through the juggernaut, piercing its armor. The machine staggered, systems failing. Marcus grabbed Carathel's hand and pulled her toward the extraction point. You see now? Marcus shouted over the noise. They were never afraid of what we were. They were terrified of what we could become. Carathel stumbled beside him. And you've been hiding this all this time? Marcus smiled, his face smeared with dirt and blood. We waited for the right moment. A final blast from above tore the juggernaut in half, its metal body collapsing with a ground-shaking crash. The human soldiers moved in, securing the area. One of them waved Marcus over. Extraction's hot. We leave now. Marcus and Carathel reached the ship's ramp. The last soldier climbed aboard. Explosions lit the sky behind them. As the ship lifted off, Marcus turned one last time to look at the city below. Alien towers crumbling, Council soldiers retreating in terror. And the first sign of a war that was no longer one dash-sided dot. The team leader stood beside him. We're broadcasting the message. Every system, every channel. The Council's lies end today. Marcus gave a slow nod. Good, it's time the galaxy remembers who we are. The ship soared into the clouds, vanishing from sight. In the command center, General Karen's trembling hands gripped the edge of the console. Send a message to the Council, he growled. Humanity's back. Humanity's wrath. The human warship sliced through the clouds, leaving the burning city of Varan 5 behind. Inside, Marcus Vane stood by the viewing window, watching the smoke rise over the alien skyline. The Council's army had been shattered. The arena where so many cheered for human death was now rubble. Carathel stepped beside him, silent for a long time. She had spent her life believing humans were weak, fragile creatures to mock and conquer. But now, after what she had seen, her world was broken. I don't understand, she finally said. You could have destroyed us long ago. Why now? Marcus kept his eyes on the view. Because we were never the monsters they made us out to be. We didn't want war, but when you leave us no choice. He turned to her, his voice cold. We end it. The ship's captain spoke through the comms. Marcus, incoming transmission. Every Council world. They're demanding answers. Marcus gave a half smile. Good, give them one. He stepped into the control room as the human fleet appeared on the screen. Dozens of ships, black as night, armed to the teeth. Every ship bore the Titan insignia, a symbol the galaxy hadn't seen in decades. Carathel stared at them in disbelief. You hid this from the whole galaxy. Marcus leaned over the console. No, he said quietly. We hid it from those who would have destroyed it. A broadcast officer handed him a comlink. This is Marcus Vang, Titan designation 01. To the Galactic Council, your lies are finished. Your threats are empty. You feared what humans could become, and you were right. He paused, his voice sharp and steady. We will no longer kneel. We will no longer be hunted. The days of hiding are over. From this moment forward, any act against Earth or its people will be answered in kind. The war you tried to stop has just begun. The message was sent. Across the galaxy, screens on alien worlds flickered with Marcus's face. Council leaders panicked. Civilians whispered. Old stories of human wrath, stories the Council worked so hard to erase, flooded back into memory. Varon 5, General Karen stood in his ruined command center, staring at the burning city. His officers trembled. Is it true, General? One whispered. The humans have a fleet? Karen's face was pale. They have more than that. High above, the human warship turned toward the stars, its engines burning bright. Caravel, standing at Marcus's side, spoke quietly. What now? Marcus gave her a look, a mixture of sadness and steel. Now, he said, we go home. The fleet moved as one, vanishing into deep space, leaving behind a broken empire and a message the galaxy would never forget. Never underestimate humanity. Not ever again. The end.